welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam mandibular rearranger, part 1, we got most of this thing built. Okay, we started with a wood dowel and we just added to it. We put foam around the wood dowel to create the bulk of our body. And then we just came in and we started adding details. We started putting wraps around it. We started back here. We wrapped all the way up to this first multi-layered wrap up here. So far so good and totally easy. So for this episode, making an EVA foam mandibular rearranger part 2, we're gonna finish the build. We're gonna get all the rest of the details done down here on the end of the barrel. We're gonna come in and put some cool tubing in there for cables, and we're going to put all this cool detail work on the handle, which is very cool and super easy, and all these little rivety things on the back. Fun stuff, super easy build. And then since it's done, we're going to go to the fun part, which is sealing it and painting it. Easy stuff. We're going to seal it with Plastidip. We're going to paint it up, scratch it up, dirty it up, make it a little worn, and should be easy. So if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, there we go. We only did 4 collars. We thought we were going to do 5, but we only needed 4. Sweet, look at that. Wow, the seams were kind of perfect anyway, but we got the glue residue off, and where there was even a tiny little bump, we just smoothed it out. Wow. All right, here we go. Here's our circles on 12mm foam. We're going to do one and show you how we do it, and then we're going to crank out the rest of them, all right? So we're going to go over to the bandsaw. We're going to cut one of these out because we want perfectly perpendicular sides to it. There and right there. All right, now we can come in, make a curved cut like that. All right, so we're going to make the curved cut first, then we're going to roll it over and do our top cut. All right, so let's go over to the scroll saw and knock that out. And what we also want to do is we want to have our cut on a taper. So we're going to tip our table just a little bit so that we can make a tapered cut. All right, let's pop it out. Wow, it's got the curved bottom. It's got tapered sides. Now when we come in, because I am loving that. All right, we're going to come in with this 6mm piece. We're going to poke these out with a brass tube. Wow, that's easy. All right, we're going to pop it out. There we go. Put some in the base. Use an extra piece of foam as a squeegee. Put it right in the center. Let's slide it over there. That looks about right. Actually, it's a little bit over this way. There we go. That is pretty much right on the money. And then we push it down while it bonds. Get the bottom wet. Put it right in the center like that. There you go. Just like that. We've got perfect contact down in here because we curved the bottom of this piece. Look at that. Now we have 7 more to do. We're just going to go through those same steps and get all 7 on here. Wow. Crazy. All right, there we go. Check it out. Looking pretty good. Now I'm kind of aggravated because this one, and this one are lined up. This one is not. When we were putting the wrap down, we weren't perfectly lined up. I should have had a line drawn and we should have followed it. This one's crooked and it's gonna kill me every time I look at it. But not bad. I think it's pretty cool still. Look at that. Simple stuff. You just gotta do it all a bunch of times. All right, now let's get the heat gun out. Let's tighten this foam up a little bit. All right, there we go, man. We are in great shape. Look at that. Wow, super cool. All right. Okay, now we're gonna take these two pieces, a 6mm and a 12mm, and we're gonna make two circles for the end. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and knock those out real quick on the scroll saw. All right, now we're gonna get the Dremel out. We're gonna slightly bevel one edge of this 6mm piece. All right, there we go. We've got a slight bevel all the way around the edge so that when that comes in, it's gonna have the beveled bottom. Pretty cool. Now we're gonna go around this piece and we're gonna bevel both sides. All right, there we go. We've got a bevel on this side and a bevel on this side. Really nice. Now All right, there we go. Now we know we're going to be perfectly centered when we come in and we set this down. All right. All right. Easy stuff. Okay, now we're going to pop out a bunch of circles. Okay, so we've got some 2mm foam and some 4. We've got them. All right, there's all. All right, there we go. We've got 12 of them ready to go. All right, we're actually not going to use the thin ones after all. All right. And we've made our marks, so we're going to go around and we're going to attach it to every one of our spots. All right, so we're going to come in with our puddle of super glue and we're going to dip and stick. There we go, right there on our dot. All right, there we go. We got a pair of them here, we got a pair of them here, and we got a pair of them here. Okay, now this is kind of cool. What's next? All right, we're gonna come in with this dowel, EVA foam dowel. Looks like it's about this is, I would say, an 8mm, just over 1/4 of an inch. And what we're going to do is we're going to have it go from this little adapter over to this one. And we're going to do that on all 3 areas. So let's just make a couple marks so we know where we're going to be cutting. All right, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Now this is going to be really easy stuff. All right. Right on that little plug we put down, we're going to hold it while it bonds. Stick it down right on top of this piece right here. Put a little strip of super glue down. And we're going to hold it down there while it bonds. Like that. We're going to hold it while it bonds. And there you go. Look at that. Crazy. Oh, love it. All right, now both of these, number 1 and number 2, are going to have a little bracket. Okay, the way we're going to create that little bracket is we're going to come in with a little piece of 2mm foam, and then we'll do a test wrap to figure out how long it needs to be. All right, there is our mark right there. So now we know that's how long we need it to be. We're going to there. And there. The center of our bracket needs to be right there. All right. All right, now we're going to hold it. All right, there we go. Now we just finish it up. All right, there we go. It's not completely perfect. It's kind of tough on such a itty bitty tiny little wrap. We didn't get our seam together, but that's the side we'll put down, so you'll never see it. All right? measure it, wrap a collar, stick it down. All right, here we go. We're gonna stick this right down on our little plug right there. Hold it while it bonds. Really easy stuff, man. Just take your time, measure. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna come in and we're going to get it right here on the bottom of our collar. We're gonna smooth it out. We're gonna bend it down and we're going to attach it right there, and we're going to hold it. All right, there we go. Look at that. All right, it's coming out of this piece. It's spinning around and going through this little collar, and then it's coming over to here. All right, there we go. That's perfect. All right, there we go. Look at that. Really nice. Comes out of the port, has the little collar that it keeps it held down with. We've got one here and one on this one. Look at that detail. That is really great. All right, now we're going to come in with this 4mm dowel. All right, just take your time. Cut right through the center of your dowel. Look at that. Pretty cool. Now, the reason we did that is now we have a half round, and it's going to make this really sweet detail on the handle. Look at that when we wrap it. We're going to have that nice, cool little ridge right there, and we're going to do 6 of those right down the handle. All right? All right, there we go. We drew our guidelines down. And now let's just do a test and make sure we fit all the way around. 4 and 11/16. Wrap it around our line and hold it down. All right, and we're just going to keep going all the way around. There we go. All right, there it is. We stuck the ends together. Look at that. Perfect seam right there because we did a measurement. That's it. That's simple. Take your super glue, wrap them all around. Man, this stuff is squeezing out all over the place. Look at those gloves. Man, that's a wreck. That's why I do not like the super glue at all without gloves on. Whoa, look at that. Check it out. Every one of those seams perfectly fit together because we did a measurement. And hot dog, look at that grip. Wow. Man, really. All right, now we're going to do the little details that go all the way around and inside this piece, and they're all circles. So we've got our 2 brass tubes. We're going to pop out all these little 4mm pieces. All right, there we go. There's 8 of each. Now we're going to make our marks on this piece, and we're going to use the super glue and stick them on. All right, here we go. We divided it up. Now we've got our markings for the 4 that are going to go on the outside, and then we're going to stagger them and do them opposite on the inside. All right, so this is going to be really super easy stuff. This is going to be all just super gluing and using our X-Acto knife to pop them on there, all right? So there we go, there's our puddle. There we go, that's going to go right in the center of that one. Get the bottom wet. We're going to come in and put it right over that dot. Alright, get the bottom wet. Put it right in the center over where our dot is. Alright, there we go. Look at that. Really cool. 4 on the outside, 4 on the inside. Wow, look at that thing. Alright, you saw how we built the whole thing off of a wood dowel. Alright, so with that last detail, putting these little circles on the end, that brings the build portion of our mandibular rearranger to a close. Alright, here we are at the spray stand. We're going to begin coating our rearranger with our Plastidip. And you know the drill, even if you're outside in a well-ventilated area, do not spray without your respirator. Got in all the crevices, went at it from a bunch of different angles, got everything sealed. Now we're going to hang it and we're going to let it dry before we start painting it. All right, here we go. Now we're not going to spray any of this. The whole thing's going to be sponge and regular brush. So we're going to come in with our silver. We're just going to go all the way around all of our silver pieces with our sponge brush, and it's going to leave kind of a natural dark crevice, which is okay because we want this to have a little bit of weathering on it. That's it. We're just going to tap around all of our pieces. Doesn't matter if we get silver on other pieces, we'll paint over that when we get to our next color. That's it. All right, just like that. Now we've got that slight little darkness in the corner and down at the real low part, which is got a natural dirtiness to it, which is cool. So just keep going. All right, there we go. Check that out. That looks sweet. We've got stayed black in all the crevices. Perfect. That is really nice. Now there's a couple little itty bitty spots where we want to come in with our brush. Now we're not coating it completely. We're leaving it kind of a little bit see-through because we want to get a little bit of that natural kind of dirty look in there. All right, it's that easy. That's as hard as this whole entire paint job is going to be. Not hard at all. All right, now we're going to start moving on to our next color. Okay, now we're going to come in with our satin black. There we go. Look at that. Wow, that's rich. That's it. Totally no artistic ability needed for this. We're just coating it. That's it. All right, we're just going to keep going, and we're going to get this piece done also. Really easy. See that? No spraying, no artistic ability needed whatsoever. We're just coating it, and that's it. All right. All right, now we're going to come in with our copper. Just going to take our time. We're going to cut in. Now we're going to... It's going down kind of thin, so we're going to let it dry. Then we're going to come back in and hit both with a second coat. All right, nice. Same thing. We're going to let those two pieces and that little piece up there dry. Then we'll hit them with a second coat. All right, there we go. We've got two coats on all of our copper spots. Still a little bit see-through. Now we're going to be... we're going to be weathering this and dirtying it up. We probably could stop right there, but I'm just still need it to be a little bit more solid than that. So we're going to let it dry, we're going to do a third coat, and then we're going to move on. All right, we've got another coat on here. While that's drying, we're going to come over and we're going to get down in here with this little brush, and we're going to get these little pieces right here. That's it. Now we're going to take our time, we're going to go around, and we're going to hit all 8 of these, and then we're going to let it dry. Then after it dries, we're going to come in and hit a second coat on all of them. All right, there we go. There's all 8, covered in multiple coats of our copper. Looking good. Everything's looking pretty smart. Nice. All right. All right, now we're going to come in with our antique copper. Okay, this has got a lot more red in it. Ooh, that's nice. And we're going to fill in just like that. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's a cool color right there. Whoa.
Got some on there. We can paint over it though. All right, now we're going to do what we usually do. We're going to do a coat, let it dry, do a second coat, and maybe come in and do a third coat. So we're going to do here, and then all these little in-between spaces. All right, there we go. We've got all of our copper pieces done. Nice, has that red tint in it, very cool. And we're just going to let that dry, then we're going to hit it with a couple coats. Maybe just... Perfect. 2 coats of our antique copper. Nice. All right, now just as easy, we're going to come in with our stormy blue. All right, that's it. Same thing we've been doing, just drag across, no artistic ability needed. All right, now we're going to go around here, here, and all these little collar pieces. Just take your time. Okay, and now we have a tiny little edge right here around the collar that we want to coat. We're just going to use the square edge of our brush. We're going to cut in just like that. All right, there we go. There's 1 coat of our stormy blue. We're going to let it dry. Hit it. All right, nice. Look at the difference. You can totally see the difference between here and here. All right, there we go. Beautiful. 2 coats is all we needed. That is completely solid coverage right there. Now we're going to let it dry. We got a couple itty bitty tiny little spots of blue on some places, so we'll touch up our silver. We got a couple itty bitty little spots on the copper right there. It'll take 2 seconds to touch up. All right, now we've got our small brush. We're going to come in right in this little area here. Just like that. All right, there it is. Oops, we actually forgot to do the end piece. All right, there we go. We got our silver down in here, and we just did our blue end cap right there. Man, is that looking good. That is really nice. All right, now we're going to come back in with our black. We're going to do, and then you just come in and paint your tube. Each time you get to another area, just cut in like that. That's it. Nice rich black on the tubes. Now we're just going to finish this tube and then come over to this side and do this one. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to do this cord with our dark red. So we're going to come in with our French wine. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to cut in at the bottom, all the way around our little metal collar. All right, there we go. Now this one is going to take a couple coats, probably this color, because it's handling a little bit thin and greasy. The black's all finished. Now we did the red. We put 1 coat on. We're going to let it dry and do a second coat. All right, there we go. 2 coats of red. Okay, now we're going to come in with our Calypso Sky. Super light blue color. That's it. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. All right, there we go. Now we're going to move up to here. Cut in all the way around the edge and fill it in. All right, there we go. We've got blue in there, blue inside our little gaps. Let it dry and we'll hit it with a second coat. All right, there we go. There is the second coat of our Calypso Blue. That pretty much brings the paint portion of this to a close. All right, we've got our black handle, we've got all our brass looking details, we've got the brass collar back here, a bunch of little silver metal pieces all throughout it, the silver body. We've got the two different colors of tubing, the black and the red. Like we said, hit the Calypso blue in here to pop it out. Man, really loving this antique copper color in here. Super nice. All right, that's it. That easy. All right, now the painting's done. Now comes the fun. Now we're going to weather it and scratch it up. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to add a little bit of mud wash to a lot of this. Okay, now you've seen us do this before. This is super easy. Get a plate, and you have to have a scary Halloween plate, or it doesn't work. All right, a little bit of brown down, and we're going to come in with our black, and we're going to put just a little bit of water. All right, we come in with our paper towel. All right, and we're going to dab it. Beautiful. Look at that. That's just enough to give it that look. Same thing, just dab it. All right, there we go. Look at that. Got a nice layer of crud on there. That adds such a nice layer of grime around there. That's beautiful. Look at that. We've got a nice subtle layer of grime around everywhere. Darker in some of the corners, it's collected. And then down here on these blue areas, really nice. All right, now we're going to come in with our silver. We're going to do our scratches. That is perfectly chipped up looking. Wow, really cool. We're going to do the same thing around the inside. There it is, chipped up edges. That easy. Now we're just... All right, there we go. Just like that. Little chips that come off because the edge gets hit. All right, now we're going to come to the little edge of this collar right here. Get a just enough little scratch mark around the edge to make it look real. Wow, the whole thing was brushed. There was no spraying involved. We sealed it with Plastidip, then we came in, we painted all of our black areas by brush, which was easy. We painted our couple brass areas by brush, which was easy, and almost everything needed a couple coats. You saw us come in and actually sponge brush the metal parts, and that leaves like natural dark patches in the corners. And we brushed on that crazy copper that's got that red in it, and we came in with the Calypso blue just to hit in some of those spots. You saw us do it. Red tube also, real easy stuff. Didn't take any artistic ability. It was just like a color book. We colored it in, put a couple layers on where we needed them, and then we came in with our mud wash. Real simple stuff. Mixed the black and the brown, got some water, slopped it around. Look at that, real nice staining on all these pieces because of the mud wash. And then we came through with our simple little silver around all the edges to make it, you know, have that chipped off look. Really cool. Wow, this thing was so cool. And with that last detail, the silver chipping on the edges, that brings our Mandibular Rearranger build to a close.
All right, there you go. That easy. You saw us continue from this wrap right here. We went right down to the end. Did these cool little circle details where we had to cut the bottom on a curve because all these pieces here and here and here have to have a rounded bottom so they sit flush on a round surface. But totally easy stuff. And then we saw us split our dowels to do these cool little half-round ropes to go around the handle. Sweet. And you saw us get these cool tubes in here. Really easy stuff, really fun. And then you saw us seal it and paint it. Easy paint job, sponged on the silver metal part. Leaves a lot of dirty crevices. Came in with the brush for everything else and not hard at all. And then came in with our sloppy mud wash, which I like. Gives it that nice stained up, aged, weathered, dirty kind of grody feel. And then one of my favorite things, which is the silver scratches, coming in with the brush and hitting all the edges with silver, makes it look like the paint's been scratched off. Really cool stuff. And really fun, really easy. So pretty much does it. That concludes making an EVA foam Mandibular Rearranger Part 2. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.